Alright guys, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm a little tired. This is part one of the Honda rebuild that we're going to do. We're dropping off the Type R. Can't fit the new bike in it, so we had to rent a truck from Lowe's. Let's get on the way to Atlanta. Alright guys, well we just made it back in the garage after heading down to Atlanta to pick up the wrecked Grom that we're gonna rebuild and see what we can do with it. This is really the first look at it. Of course you can only see a few pictures on the auction site, which is Copart, and then kind of go from there. In some auctions they'll give you a video of it running, show you a quick walk around, but with this all I had was a few pictures to go off of. It doesn't look bad, and thankfully Grom parts are really cheap for the most part. But what we're going to do now, we're going to take a look around the bike, see just how bad the damage is on this. I've already started to collect a few parts that I knew we were going to need. But yeah, let's take a quick walk around it. We'll start in the rear. And it does look like he ended up looping it, doing a wheelie, I'm gonna guess. It's normally the number one sign. You see the tail light broken and the seat catches every now and then. And a little bit on the tail there. And really the worst damage that I could see from the auction pictures was right here on the end of the swing arm, which is swing arm's not too expensive. It was right around, I think, 110 bucks. So not too horribly bad, but a little bit more labor intensive than just replacing some of the plastics. And we've got these awesome little LED lights that, yeah, I'm guessing used to be tucked up in here somewhere. Those are definitely gonna go. Let me come down. And one thing I did notice, which you couldn't tell from the pictures, but the shifter is bent. The guy, when I was picking it up in Atlanta, he had a hard time trying to click it into gear because it wants to hit the engine case, so he couldn't get it back into neutral. What? But as long as you pull out a little bit and click it, you can get it shoved back up in there. And then up here, it looks to just be some residue from tape. And then looks like a little mark there. And then we've got nice bent lever, bar end mirrors, toast, and so is the one on the other end. We've got the little boomerang, and it caught the signal right here. Thankfully, all of this stuff is really cheap for the most part, and the front fender is spotless except for this little mark right there, which the fender, I think the fender was only about $25, so not too bad, just to replace it over that little scratch. Doesn't look like there's any wheel damage. We've got a few stickers, TST, shout out to them. I've used some of their stuff. I'm gonna assume that was an integrated taillight at one point. And it didn't catch the engine cases. Doesn't look like it fell over on this side at all. The tail section's still mint, and so are the plastics on this side. What's this say? 9/21/18. And that goes to show you how long the insurance company takes to process everything, because we're the first weekend of June right now, and I just picked it up. I mean, that looks like the extent of the damage though, guys. I mean, it's not horrible. Oh yeah, thought this was something that was peeking out on the way home. It wasn't in the pictures on the auction site. I'm guessing they were just tucked up in there a little bit more and they flopped out on the way home, which made me notice the little toggle switch for these cheesy LED lights. Not to knock on the guys that like those, I'm just not a big fan. And I really hope this guy didn't butcher the wiring on this bike to install those. Ooh, and actually, speaking of that, let's grab the key, pop the seat off. Oh, and another fun part, doesn't start. I'm hoping it's just a dead battery, but we'll see. Here in just a minute, we'll get the battery out, throw it on the charger. Well, let me set you guys down while I pop the seat off. Can you guys...
What are those?
Look at the wiring. What did... Has he got him? Oh, the tape's just falling off. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. Come on, guys. Yeah, the wiring is just... Oh, man. I mean, I guess you gotta give somebody props for trying to work on their own stuff. But if you... Piece of advice, guys. This is not how you're supposed to wire anything on your motorcycle, your Honda Kick and Go. It doesn't matter. Do it right. I mean, there's millions of YouTube videos showing you how to do these things. I really... Thankfully, it looks like it's going to be easy to undo. But yeah. Alright, well, what do we know now? We looked the bike over. It's all cosmetic, thankfully, except for the stupid wiring hack job that the previous owner did to this. So it's not just going to be as easy as swapping the plastics out like I had hoped. We're gonna have to dive into a little bit more, but should be easy. May end up having to make another video or two more than I wanted to out of it. But the big thing is what you guys think of me trying out a few videos put together like this, to where pick something up at an auction, whether it be a Honda motorcycle, Honda ATV, a Honda car for all it matters, because I do play with those too. I've currently got a Type R and an S2000. Big Honda fanboy. Had tons of them over the years. But yeah, let me know what you guys think below. We're gonna basically right now just strip the bike down, take the plastics off that are damaged, and go from there. Well, I believe I've got all the nuts out. Well, I believe I've got all the nuts
These
out.
nuts.
Well, I believe I've got all the bolts out of this, so we should just be able to pop it right off. Good pop. We get to take a look at the back side of this. Look at this. Oh, man. Now, to the next part. Alright, well, that's the fender off. And the side fairings, the tail pieces. This little tail piece here. Of course, the seat, which the easiest thing to take off. We still got to pull off the tail light. We still have to dive into the wiring here and really just clean up all of this mess. It looks like it sat in the yard for a while or by a body shop and collected a bunch of dust. But everything that I've went over so far seems pretty straight. I've still got to put the battery on the charger. And after we take care of that wiring mess, see if that's all it is that's causing it to not want to start, not want to turn on at all. It's got to be something simple. I mean, it was a small wreck, not a whole lot of damage. I mean, the only thing that's questionable is either A, it's a dead battery, or B, this wiring mess. All of this, and of course, run down this side. That could be another thing too, and we'll see. It's going to be interesting though to see how it pans out. And also too, once I get these fairings cleaned up a little bit, I know this one I'm going to replace. I've already got it over on the other table. The front fender I'm going to replace because of that. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. It's not bad, but still. This tailpiece looks good. The right side fairing looks good. It just looks like it has a whole lot of residue from the tape. It looks like it's been applied a few different times. I don't know if you guys can see that in camera. May end up having to take it over to Nathan and Casey at 423 Details, see what kind of magic they can work on getting that crap off. And also see if there's anything we can do on this left side. I wish the camera would focus in on that, but it's just a little nick, and I hate to have to replace the whole piece, which, I mean, the plastics aren't expensive, so it's not like it's going to eat me alive. It's probably $15. At some point, you've got to decide, is it worth putting any time into messing with, or just order one and replace it. And then the same goes to this bottom piece here. It's really cheap. I'm thinking it was like $10, $15 too. If I want to replace it to get rid of this little toggle switch that this guy had for the Mickey Mouse lights that are on it. And on the seat, of course, it's got to be replaced. Replacement seats right over there. And thought about doing an aftermarket exhaust, doing a couple mods to it throughout this process. Let me know what you guys think below. If you want to see one, a newer generation modified a little bit, I've got my old OG Grom over here. So I'm a big Grom fan. It's just got a few simples to it. Big brakes, braided lines, sliders, FMF exhaust. In 2014, they didn't come with red panels in the rear here in the States. They came with that goofy looking mix match, red up front, black in the back. I thought that was stupid, so I ordered the red tail pieces from Europe, had those shipped over. Shorty levers, of course flush mounts, DynoJet power commander, DynoJet quick shifter, not installed yet. TB parts camshaft just came in, still got to do an install on it. And oh crap, what else? Chimera intake with the SF filter. Sprint filter that I've got to throw on it. That's supposedly a lot better than the Can-Am that comes with the Chimera. But yeah, I love to mess with Groms. They're a blast. So let me know what you guys think though on that. If you'd like to see me modify it any or just put it back to stock, and go from there. This will be the end of the first part of this series on the rebuild of this Grom, and we'll see how it goes.